Let's talk about something we've all felt. Why is it that the very thing that brings us the most incredible joy, love, can also be the source of our deepest, most profound pain? Today, we're going to try to unpack this immortal longing of the human heart.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You have this amazing, boundless capacity for love, and it gives your life so much meaning. But wow, it also leaves you so vulnerable to the pain of separation, to the pain of loss. So why? Why is that? Well, the source material for today's explainer offers a really fascinating way to look at this universal problem.
The entire conversation really hinges on this one single idea. In a world where literally everything is temporary, only one thing is truly eternal. This verse, right here, it sets the stage for understanding the real conflict at the very center of our suffering.
Okay, so let's dive into the core of the problem. The idea here isn't that love itself is the issue, no. It's that our hearts are facing a fundamental dilemma, a real paradox, just by existing in a world like ours.
And here it is. This is the central paradox. On one side, you've got our nature, which has this boundless, infinite capacity to love. And on the other side, we live in a world where everything we attach that love to is finite. It's fleeting. It's a profound, almost cosmic mismatch.
And here's the fallouts. According to our source, the suffering we feel isn't some kind of bug in the system, it's a direct feature of misdirecting that infinite love. It's like we're trying to spend a limitless currency on things that, by their very design, are guaranteed to disappear.
So, if that's the diagnosis, what's the cure? Well, the text proposes this two-part answer. And the first part is described with a really powerful metaphor, a surgical operation on the heart.
And this single declaration, this is the surgeon's scalpel. It's a tool, a specific phrase designed to perform a very precise and necessary procedure on our own heart. Now, this is absolutely crucial. This first utterance is a proactive move. It's a conscious choice to sever the heart's attachment to things that you know will eventually leave. The idea is to spiritually leave them before they physically leave you, and in doing that, you sidestep the wound of separation altogether.
In this quote, this gets right to the heart of the why. It's this deep recognition that our hearts were built for something permanent, for something everlasting. So when we attach them to the temporary, it's like we're using them for a purpose they were never designed for, and that's the source of the pain.
All right, so let's move on to the second part and see how this all builds. After the surgery, you don't just leave an open wound. The next step is all about healing, and the metaphor shifts from a sharp scalpel to a soothing, healing salve.
And this is so important. This process isn't about emptying your heart out and leaving it vacant. It's about refilling it the right way. This second utterance is an affirmation that in the eternal one, you find a love that is more than enough, a love that can truly take the place of everything else. It's the antidote to the poison of loss.
So how does this actually work in practice? The key is that you don't stop loving the world around you. Not at all. Instead, you reframe that love. The beauty you see in a person or in nature, it's no longer the final destination for your love. Instead, you see it as a signpost, a reflection of an ultimate eternal beauty.
Okay, so adopting this perspective isn't just about avoiding pain. The source argues that it comes with some truly profound rewards. And the first one connects directly to one of our deepest, most universal human desires. I mean, just think about it for a second. So much of what we do, what we build, what we create is driven by this desire to last, to leave a mark, to not be forgotten. The source suggests this isn't just vanity, it's a fundamental part of who we are. Our happiness is deeply, deeply tied to this idea of permanence.
So, the logic here is actually pretty straightforward, but it's powerful. If true immortality belongs only to the eternal, then the only way for our temporary lives and our temporary actions to get a piece of that permanence is to connect them to that source. By spending our love, our effort on His way, our actions start to take on a quality of the eternal themselves.
All right, now this next reward is maybe even more mind-bending. The idea is that this spiritual alignment doesn't just change our relationship with love, but it changes our relationship with time itself.
This is such a fascinating concept. The text describes our being as these kinds of concentric circles. So your body lives in the now, right? The present hour. But your heart experiences a wider present, one that includes days in the past and days in the future. And your spirit, well, it lives in this vast expanse of years. Our experience of time isn't just one single thing. And this leads to an incredible point about time. Its value, and maybe even its perceived length, seems to depend entirely on how you spend it.
A long, 100-year life lived without purpose can feel like a meaningless flash, but a single, profound moment of connection, that can feel like it contains an entire year.
We've all heard this, or something like it, right? Time flies when you're having fun. It's this idea that even our most cherished moments are kind of tragically brief because they're attached to something that can't last.
But then, the Source just flips that common wisdom completely on its head. It argues that a moment of union that's connected to the eternal doesn't feel brief at all. Instead, that single moment becomes a window, an opening, into a permanent, everlasting union. It literally expands time instead of compressing.
And if you think that's just a nice philosophical idea, the Source gives us a concrete, almost staggering example. It points to the concept of the night of power from the Quran. The idea is that this single night, if you spend it with the right intention, can hold the spiritual weight of 1,000 months. That's about 80 years. This is the ultimate example of time literally expanding.
So, after all of this, how do we actually apply it? How do we live this out? The Source boils it all down into 3 simple, actionable principles. The key, you'll notice, is intention. It's about reorienting the why behind everything you do, your work, your relationships, your whole life, towards an eternal purpose.
And that brings us to the final, powerful summary. It resolves the paradox we started with. Yes, we are temporary. We are transitory beings. But our ultimate purpose, our real function, is to be a mirror that reflects something that is permanent.
So, that leaves us with one final question to think about. If every single moment holds the potential to connect with something immortal, to expand in meaning and value, what changes for you? What one thing would you do differently, starting right now, today?